Yo. Doing my sharing thing whilst I wait for the people. It's level 5 week in the spiral. And so I'm singing. Hello. Level 5 throat expression. Do, 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 do. Let me know if you're here. Say hello. My little headband thing on. And when I have these bits out, I look like I've got antennae. Hello. So I like tuck them in, and now I look like I have a little knobble on my head. Hey, Trinity. Okay, that's shared in there, and then I'm going to share it on my page personnel as well. Why not? Why not indeed? How are we all doing on this fine morning? I know it's afternoon for me now, but it's definitely morning for you, Trinity, if not the middle of the night. What's on your mind, Georgina? I'll tell you what's on my mind in just a minute, Facebook. I'm going to tell you all of the things. Did you know, lesser known fact about the Noelie, when I was a little kid, I had a caricature done of me. I think I was like just entering into becoming a teenager, and so becoming very aware of my physical self and what beauty was and all of that shit. And I had a caricature done, and he gave me these like crazy, he made my head look like a fucking hourglass. It was very weird. And he gave me massive ears. So I felt like, hey, Alanda, surprised you're not sick to death of me by now. What am I saying? You can never get enough. Drink it in. But I had this crazy paranoia about having like big ears, and actually they're not really big at all, and they're like sticky outy, and you can barely even see them. They're so little. And it's so funny because I had such a paranoia about them that wearing a headband like this, like behind my ears, I'd always put it like over my ears, and then, you know, I couldn't hear properly, or I'd look like bizarre. Isn't it weird how we pick these things up about ourselves and we don't even realize that, like, the impact that something like that can have? This guy doing this caricature of me and giving me like these really big ears. It was like, why would you pick on that? I don't even have big ears, asshole. Ah, it's one of those days. You're getting out of the hospital today. Amazing. Congratulations. I only found out about that yesterday. Can I really do this? Can I do specs as well? I'll be honest, the reason I put my specs on, my videos always, what? RIVH, what does that mean? Hey, Annalise, nice to see you. Yeah, what does that mean? What is RIVH? Am I just so like not down with the kids that I don't know what these things mean? Oh, always brighten your day. Yay! Amazing. Good, I'm so glad. Yay! It's what I'm here on the planet to do. You get 30 days of me soon if you're in the old money mindset reset, people. Just give that little plug there, why not? Yo, it's my Thai bride. My God, oh hey Mustard. Hey bitch. I feel like a kind of 1940s worker with my like thick knit jumper on and my little headband and then red lipstick and glasses. Hey Katerina. Oh God, guys, I'm about to burp. She's a lady. I have no idea what this live stream is going to be like today. But this is part of, in fact, this is actually perfect because this is part of what I want to talk to you about today, which is what are you hiding? And not even knowing that you're hiding it. So ever since I went to the spiral practitioner training like 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago anyway, when I got there, there were so many embodied tantric goddesses. I'm currently with childcare entertainment. Oh well, get ready for your children to start using some very blue language is all I can say, bride. As we know, je suis have no filter. I am have no filter. It's one of those days. So anyway, moving on swiftly. What I found was when I went to the spiral prac training, I noticed there were lots of like embodied tantric goddesses who were all into like no bras and able to gyrate quite happily and like be in their super like maiden energy and like, you know. And there's me just like, hello, I'm British. We don't talk about sex. Stiff upper lip, what? And it was very confronting. And the first day I got there, don't worry, there will be a point eventually. Just come along on the ride for me and enjoy the joyous fire constitution that is Georgina Knoll. You're welcome. So I got there the first day. We arrived. I'd met a group of ladies in the car and they all seemed really nice. So I felt quite safe and happy and like, okay, this is fun. I was a bit nervous, didn't really know what I was stepping into. But at the same time, I felt like, oh, I've got my little tribe here that I'm going to be arriving to and from the training every day. So I had like, you know, my little, felt good. We got out of the car and there was like who I adore now, Danny Redbard was there. And he was no shirt, hair tied back, like massive beard, just like half naked, no shoes on, him and his partner at the time. Just like really like, you know, my perception, my judgment was like, oh my God, these people are like super fucking like liberated and, you know, like super fucking hippie. And I'm here like, as I say, like British as fuck. Where's my cup of tea? There's my pinky finger, you know, like walking into this space, coming from a situation where in my community, like where I live on this little island, like I'm pretty fucking out there. Like I'm pretty woo in terms of my beliefs and the way that I show up in the world. I'm quite like, you know, audacious, quite brazen, you might say. And yet I walked into the situation, I felt like I was completely on the other end of the spectrum. All these people so liberated in their expression and the way that they catharted, you know, when they were clearing and there's all the groaning and the, when they were clearing and I'm there doing my clearing, like rubbing the points, like rubbing the meridians and then just being like, because it didn't feel comfortable to me to be that cathartic and that emotive. Whereas now I'm like, I don't give a fuck and I'll grunt and groan with the best of them. But back then, it was so fucking scary to me to be I felt like the most quote unquote normal person. I'm glad you're enjoying this, bride. I felt like the most like normal person in the room and I felt really out of my depth when I got there. I was like, fuck, when I go and learn a new modality or a technique or whatever, like I'm gonna say it, like I kind of feel like top of the class. Like I'm pretty fucking good at what I do. Learning a new energy modality for me is like just a really exciting, joyful thing. So I'm not scared about, am I going to be good enough? I just literally go in like, fuck yeah, I get to learn something new. This is so exciting. I don't feel nervous. But when I got to the spiral practitioner training, I knew I was going to be good at the technique. It was the engagement with all the other people that was so fucking scary and confronting for me. And of course, it was a place where I had the greatest learning and I met some of my closest friends in the whole fucking universe there. And yeah, it was such a beautiful experience. But what I didn't realize I unconsciously took on during that training and then through my time being very involved in the spiral community, and I'm still very involved in the spiral, but I'm not so like, I was like really like, I'm in a tribe, and it felt so good to be like in a tribe. And now I'm like, cool, I do the spiral. I love the spiral people. I love Dane. I love, like, you know, like I love it, but I don't feel like I'm almost like clinging onto it in the way that I did when I first found it. It felt like I found my people, and now I'm like, cool, I found my people, and that then gets to grow as well. So because of that, without realizing, although more liberated and more expressed and more creative and accepting this community, right, I still very much like had my hooks into it, and therefore without knowing it was so unconscious, I didn't realize I was doing it. I began to absorb parts of what I perceived, against all my perception, what I perceived to be like the culture of that community, of that tribe, and started to become the embodiment of those things in my own way, but kind of took me down routes that, although have helped me grow a lot, and I never regret anything that I've done, because what would be the fucking point? Like, I've learned from all of it. What I realized is that sometimes we kind of go around and we gather all this information and we become part of something and we absorb all these new things, and then we get to like drop them into our body, work with them for a bit, and then decide which pieces we want to keep, which pieces we want to let go of because we've learnt what we needed to from them, and which parts we want to keep but we kind of want to really embody them in our own way. So one of the things for me was, not ironically considering I'm taking my Spiral Clients through level 5 expression this week, one of the things I've been thinking about is how I express myself online and how I show up in my business. And even in certain areas, like how I show up at the gym and how I show up, you know, like in day-to-day engagements. Like, I am a nightmare at airport security because I will make the same joke every time I go through airport security. It's so cringeworthy. I do it every time. And I'm cringing at myself because it's so cringy. But in the moment, it's like the only thing I can think to say, because I feel like a bit awkward, but like I'm also kind of like excited because I'm going on holiday. And whenever they like ask me to basically like strip all of my clothes off, I say every fucking time, I think next time I'm just going to travel in a bikini, like, because then there's less things to take off, or like a variation of that, like, why don't we just travel naked, you know? And I'm like, why do I say this every time I go through fucking security? Like, and my boyfriend's just there like, oh, there's that joke again. And I'm like, oh, I'm so funny and charming. Be charmed by me. And it's so funny because it is super cringe. Like, I'm so cringing at my own nonsense. But there are times when I'm able to just like turn it on and flirt and be charming and be silly. And then when I'm glad, Katerina, I'm just here like laughing at myself, which, by the way, I do all the time. Like, I laugh at myself all the time. My boyfriend's just like, all right, Noelie, yeah, it was funny, but it's not that funny. And I'm like, I'm hilarious. But you know, it's fine. If we can't laugh at ourselves, what the fuck are we even doing here? And this is part of, you know, this whole thing that I'm expressing to you, and the way I'm expressing it to you today is so perfect that I don't even feel like I need to really go into the message of what I wanted to share, because I'm just being the embodiment of it, which is, you can be fucking batshit crazy, like you can be flirtatious and silly and playful and swear, and if you want to rub your tits and gyrate on the internet, you can do that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to express yourself, but it doesn't have to look like what everyone else is doing. And I got really caught in this almost like internal shame spiral around like, oh, I don't think I'm ever going to be the kind of person who can go online and do all like the sexy dancing and like the sexy. Is that how you do it? And I don't ever think I'm going to be that person, but it was almost like unconsciously I decided that was who I needed to be in order to be like spiritual and be accepted. And actually that's bullshit. I don't have to be that fucking person at all. I just get to be me, because there's only one me, and that's what makes me special. And the same goes for you. So whether it didn't really dawn on me until like the beginning of this year, when a few of my spiral clients who came to me in my first round of this year, a few of them just kind of seemed to come out of nowhere, which is so incredible. I love it when that happens. And after we got talking for a bit, hey Michelle, hey Becky, after we got talking, and I would often say to them, if you're interested in the spiral, but you don't know whether it's me or whether it's somebody else that you want to work with, like, I'm more than happy to refer you to someone else if I'm not the right practitioner, but this is what the journey is, da, da, da. And the reason that these people came to work with me specifically was, and there was one lady in particular who, I adore to this day. She came through it with me and she said, I'm actually doing the practitioner training, and I had a look around because I knew I needed to go through it before I became a practitioner, and you were the person I came to because of your lightness. And I was like, that's really interesting, because I don't really think of myself as kind of portraying that side of myself very much. I tend to portray, like in my written content, when I write, although there's quirks and a bit of humor and, I'm kind of quite irreverent in the way that I write about things. Sometimes it's very channeled, it's quite poetic, it's very powerful, it's emotional, it's deep. And then when I get on a live stream, sometimes it's just like super flow and like boom, boom, boom. This is the power. This is what we got to do. Rant, rant, rant. And then other times when I get on the live stream, it's this. And I'm just talking and having fun with myself and with you guys, and just here to kind of be an activation of what it gets to be like to just be you and not overthink shit all the time. Because when we get up into our mind and we start overthinking things, then if I did that, I would never go live. If I did that, I would never post something on the internet. I would never have got to where I am now, which I'm proud of and happy with and continue to wish to expand and grow. And I was talking to my mentor and I was like, what is it, Like, what is the thing that I'm not sharing with people? And she said to me, she was like, you want to be known for the work. You want to be known for the work, but in doing that, sometimes maybe you lose who you are in your essence. She was like, I love you because I see this side of you and I see your irreverence and that, and I was like, you're so right. Sometimes without even realizing it, I dumb down or like dull what I really want to say, because sometimes what I want to say is actually quite scathing, but it comes from this place of like being the antagonist and like wanting to poke and wanting to use humor to like kind of like get a reaction and like poke. And what I love to do, what I love more than anything potentially in life, really, like, I'm not exaggerating. There was an evening when we were doing spiral prac training and I was out with a group of people. I think it might have been Expression Day, actually, to be fair. And I was with my friends Kelly and Jamie, and we were talking, and I was just on full performance mode, and we were like slapping the table, laughing. Kelly was nearly falling off her chair, laughing and crying. And I was talking about vaginas and doing like vagina voices and we just went, I was flirting with the waiter and being so outrageous. And I had them to the point where they were crying with laughter and like bent double, like could barely breathe. And I just sat there and like, I was just like, like a kid, so excited because I had people fucking laughing at what I was saying, And that to me, like being able to captivate people and activate so much fucking ecstatic joy in them, I see a lot of people in the spiritual community talking about life force energy and using sex magic and sexual energy, and that is a thing. And holy fuck, have I tried to make that my thing. I have tried, guys. I have tried. And yes, I do use like self-pleasure magic and sex magic, and I do use those kind of things occasionally for myself. If I feel stagnant, I'm like, have a cheeky Maz, see what happens. But, to like release some energy and be like, poof, let's go. But it's not really what I feel like most comfortable or excited or like juiced up to talk about. To me, my equivalent of that is, as I say, like being that fucking impish, mischievous little minx on the sidelines, like making people laugh so much that they want to piss their pants. To me, that is spiritual as fuck. Getting people to the point where they're laughing so much that they can barely even hold the amount of ecstasy that is rippling through their bodies. How fucking cool is that? And I think I've just spent such a long time thinking that I have to talk about things in a certain way or do things in a certain way and be a certain way, and like, oh, people won't take me seriously if I don't talk about yoni eggs or whatever. And it's like, leave that to the people who are really fucking passionate about putting crystals in their vaginas, you know? Like, leave that shit to them. Do I have one? Yes. Do I use it? Fuck yes. Do I feel passionate enough about it to continually talk about it online and create a business and have a program around putting crystals in your vagina? No, I don't. But I have got great value from the people who do about my own practices and how to use it. So why did I feel that I had to force myself into becoming this person who talks about certain things in a certain way? I would rather talk about it in an irreverent way. And I have some of my clients go and buy yoni eggs and use them. I talk to my clients about self-pleasure rituals. But when I'm here just talking to you guys, it's like, I don't want to talk about that shit all the time. I don't want to have to talk about, you know, self-pleasure and sex. If I want to talk about it, I will, but it's not my main thing. My main thing is really just getting people to own their expression. And whether that involves a yoni egg or not is entirely up to you. But I understand that we kind of go like this pendulum. You know, I went from feeling like really shameful about sex and my sexual expression and like the level of sex drive that I have. I went feeling very ashamed about that to suddenly being like, the pendulum swung, right? And I went and super It's not as delicious as a Kinder Egg, and I would not recommend putting it in your mouth, is all I'm going to say. First time I'm hearing about crystals in your vag. Michelle Philippe, I am here to educate the people. Maybe I'll do a Facebook Live with my yoni egg next time. Like, this is the yoni egg. Maybe, do you know what? Wouldn't it be just fucking typical that after doing this, I get a massive download to like create an irreverent program about how to create a self-pleasure ritual and shove crystals up your vagina? Would that just be like the fucking, like the cosmic comedian that is the universe going, oh, you know how you said you didn't want to talk about it? You're going to do a live stream and you're going to talk about it for 20 minutes. You're going to piss yourself laughing, and then you're going to create a fucking offering around it. I mean, just the way my life goes. So I have to like eat my words and be like, guys, you remember all that stuff I said about not teaching you about sticking crystals up your vagina? Well, apparently that's exactly what spirit, my guides, that's what the divine has told me to teach you today. So we're going to have a yoni egg class. This might be my favourite live stream ever. I'm having a great time. I don't know about you. Let me just have a little sipperoo of my cacao smoothie. Superfoods.com. So anyway, I have no problem talking about that stuff. But again, it's really about finding a Norse just... Trinity, that's amazing. That's so funny. Oh my God. A nurse just came by and shut my door. Hilarious. She'll be like, what the fuck were you just watching? I'll suddenly have a load of nursing clients come in. It'd be amazing. Sometimes my clients' husbands walk in when they're listening to me doing a live stream or a training or something, and then they have to explain to their husband who the fuck this crazy bitch is that's talking about vaginas, you know? I'm used to it, it's fine. I own it now. But yeah, my point is, you might be talking about the same kinds of things as other people, and you might really want to be known for the work and the power of what you do. But bitches, when you do the kind of deep... You're a nurse! Fantastic, Katerina. Get me on the wards. Healing. Laughter is the best medicine, apparently, isn't it? Or penicillin, depending on what you've got. So it definitely helps to be able to laugh at yourself. It definitely helps to be able to take what you do incredibly seriously and not fucking seriously at all. Because ultimately, hey Davina, oh, you've missed a gem today, let me tell you. You might want to rewatch this because there's been some fucking gold. But, you know, whether you want to talk about yoni eggs or not, whether you want to talk about self-pleasure or not, whether you want to talk about making money or not, it doesn't actually matter. Choose what you want to talk about. Decide, just talk about whatever wants to come through you. Let the message be the fucking message and let it be in your voice. And I think this is where I got so caught up in being part of this community and feeling accepted by a community for the first time maybe ever, really. Like actually fully dropping into, or certainly like a subset of a community. And then feeling like I then somehow, once I felt accepted for who I really was, I then started, there's a lot of vagina talk. I'm just going to put it out there, Davina. A lot of vag. Just talk though, not actual vag. Otherwise I would get shut the fuck down. I love that, Katerina. Thank you. I love having you around. I love having you in my offerings and on my live streams. There are lots of people who are going to be talking about what you want to talk about. You've got to get on board with the fact that when we do this kind of deep fucking work, when we're doing mindset, energy, releasing trauma from the body, releasing trauma from my own body right now, apparently. People want to know who you are. I have a rule. Like, I don't like rules, and this is not a rule set by my mind. This is something that like my heart just will not allow. I don't work with anyone if I can't see their face. If someone is hiding behind a logo or a graphic on their, like as a coach or a mentor, if someone is hiding behind a fucking graphic and I can't see their face and I never see pictures of them online or videos of them online, I'm like, you don't trust yourself enough to be seen. I'm not going to fucking come to you. Like, you're not going to be able to handle me is what I think. Like, I need to know I'm a lot. I don't know if you've noticed this, people. I'm a lot. And so I need to know that the people that I fucking work with can hold this, you know? This is where I can go on my own talking to a camera and a fucking number with an eyeball next to it. Like just trusting there are people out there listening, enjoying and getting some value. This is what comes out of me when I'm just on my own. Like, fuck. Imagine what comes out when I'm doing sessions with people. Like, I need someone who can hold this much space and more, you know? So I just think, be all that you are, you know? Don't be afraid to like fucking show your heart to the internet, whether that looks like you bubbly snot crying or sharing something really fucking vulnerable, or whether it's something like so powerful, or like being okay with the embodiment of your rage, or maybe it is talking about sex, or maybe it is talking absolute nonsense for 20 minutes and being able to captivate people with your fucking crazy, because that is what people are buying. People aren't actually buying the service. They're buying you. They're buying who you are as a product. They're not, you know, there are loads of people who do EFT. There are loads of people who do the spiral. There are loads of people who do mindset work, who do spiritual work, I mean, fuck, if you got so caught up in trying to be the only one, you're fucked. Because there are loads of people doing what you do. But you are the ideal person for your people, and your people will resonate with you when you show up as who the fuck you actually are at your core. Okay. A number with an eyeball. I know. It is though, right? It's just like, that's what we're talking, a fucking number with an eyeball, bride. Amazing. So anyway, when you come and work with me, this is what you're signing up for, so get used to it. But yeah, it's interesting how people have said to me that one of the reasons they come to work with me is because of this lightness. And sometimes I don't even perceive that I've been sharing that. So when I think about the fact that, like, actually, what if I gave myself permission to turn that up to 100? What if I gave myself permission to both be this deeply, and I mean, you know, Hannah, who's on the live stream right now, can, you know, like, bestest bud in the whole wide world, she will attest to the fact that, you know, I can go from cackling my face off about something, and then we can be talking about fucking deep shit. Tell me about your childhood. Like, that is the way, and it's part of being a fire constitution, actually. It's like, we can just go like this. It's part of who we are. It's part of our magic. But I know I have the ability to do that. And so anytime any of us feel that we need to just be on one track, and we just need to be in one groove, and we're not allowed to be irreverent or silly or sweary or ballsy or cry or like weak or in a victim place or whatever, you're allowed to be all of it. And this is what I stand for, is allowing, you know, the more, and I know that the more I show of myself, the more permission I give. I know that. So that's what I'm committed to doing. And even more so now, I teach about money, I teach about business, but really what you get when you come and work with me is being in my field of permission to be ballsy as fuck, ask for what you want, and ask for it with a smile and a laugh. Because, as I said before, like, the work that I do, I am deeply serious about the fucking work I do, deeply, to the point where sometimes it's almost like a physical pain, because it's so inside of me. This work is like, it is me. If I couldn't laugh about the work as well, that would be a fucking miserable existence. Like, I'm not here for the suffering. I'm not here for the suffering. I'm here to have fucking fun and enjoy the journey, and to help you do the same. So I'm not going to be a fucking hypocrite and be like sackcloths and self-flagellation. I'm going to be here enjoying my fucking life, and when I have feelings to feel, I'm going to feel those motherfuckers, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep on going, and I'm going to continue to radiate like the internal sun that I know lives inside of me. You know, let the shadow workers do the shadow work, and let the people like me, who are like fire constitution, manifesting generators, creators, like earth and fucking sun signs, like I like, and fire signs, like everything about every chart I've ever had done is literally being like and being that natural performer. And it doesn't mean we don't do shadow work. I mean, of course we do shadow work. You can't move to the light if you're not willing to dive deep into that shadow and pull that shit out. But when you work with me, we're going to do it, and we're going to laugh as well. We're going to cry. Your guts are going to feel like they might fall out of your asshole sometimes, because you feel so like, oh, that I feel that. But then by the end of the session, you're going to be smiling. You're going to be laughing. We move through things, and part of my gift is to help activate that part of you. Yeah, totally. Yeah. What are we saying here? What's happening? I needed that. I've been panicking putting my first live up on my page, figuring out how people want to see me and it being perfect for them rather than being for me, however I come across and feel the same at the time. Yeah, totally. Just like decide like how activated you feel right now after watching this. Like, you don't have to be like me though, right? You don't have to go on and be like the entertainer or the performer. Just go on and be Annalise. And also, if you're in the 30-day money mindset reset, one of the beautiful things about that is you are going to unlock so much shit about yourself and release so much shit about yourself that, yeah, you're going to make more money and you're going to be working on your money stuff. But what you're going to realize is so much of your money stuff is connected with how you show up in the world. Because when we show up as more of ourselves, we naturally attract more money, we naturally attract more flow, and part of that is money, but part of it is also attention and love and connection and impact and all of that good stuff. So Annalise, I was in a place of like being triggered about it right now. Go out in nature, go and shift your state, and then as soon as you feel the inspiration to do it then. Oftentimes what we do when it's like coming and like doing a live stream or something. Actually, Annalise, are you in my Facebook group, Mindset and Life Transformations? Because if you are, I have a 5-day free program called Unlock Your Voice in that group. It's free and it's in the unit section. You just work through it at your own pace, where I do a live stream activation and then I set you homework and tasks and stuff. And so many people have done it and fucking loved it. So if you're not in there, tag me in the comments below and just say, I want Unlock Your Voice. And I will send you my Facebook group link and you can just come and do that whenever you want. It's just there for people to play with because it was fucking epic. So I've just left it in there. I did it last year, but it was so potent that I'm like, I can't take this down. Like, people need this shit. So if you want, go and watch that, get activated as fuck, and then go live, right? But when you do the money mindset reset with me, and the link is in the title, it's 30 days of being in my transmission, of being in my energy, of having me like downloading fucking truth bombs and wisdom to you every single day, plus 2 live clearing sessions. So, I mean, like, as in we do the clearing sessions like this. So I feel into the collective energy and we clear as a collective. And the first 3 clears are always the same. I always do the first 3 root clears are always the same every time I run it because they're deeply, deeply potent and important. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing in the second clearing is we're going to be working with 5th dimensional energies, and we're going to be clearing and collapsing any perceptions that we have of what holds us at bay from being able to just like go, I want this thing, and then have it land in our laps. So we're going to be clearing access to instant manifestation from the 5D into the 3D, because so many of us know that this is possible, but there's a part of us that still kind of holds it at bay for some reason. And so we're going to be doing some clearing around that in the Money Mindset Reset as well. It's going to be brand new content. I've never done it before in that container, and I'm really excited about it. So if this is like in any way tickling your nethers, do click the link in the subject line of this live stream and just come and join us. There are payment plans, 3 and 6 months payment plans. It's so fucking affordable. Such an incredible program. I'm so proud of the content in that program. It's my actual journey from like having 3-figure months to 5-figure months and then nailing 6 figures for the first time ever last year. So, you know, it's all real shit, man. This is not just like, oh, I read a money mindset book and now everything's fine. It's like, even if you feel like even if some of the content in there, you're like, oh, I think I've done this before somewhere else, still listen to the fucking audio because it comes through my filter, and my filter is fucking gold, as you know. But yeah, when you're in that program, why are you crying, Davina? Don't cry. Why are you sad? Sad face. Why are you sad? Don't be sad. Part of being in my transmission, even if it's in a money program, is you'll get expression upgrades because it's kind of my jam, right? Hey Kimberly, good morning. Hey Eva. Yeah, it's like just being in my transmission and hearing what I have to say over those 30 days, and the practices that I give you, and the journal prompts and the meditations and the clearings that we do. Everything that I do has this underlying ripple effect on people's ability to express themselves in the world. So if you go and look at my spiral clients, you'll notice that within doing the spiral, people start to actually step more into what their expression is of self, particularly over the last year. The people who've done it with me this year, their expression upgrades have been fucking huge. Thanks, Kimberly. We love the Money Mindset Reset. Oh yeah, you're an alumni, aren't you, Katerina? Amazing. Yes, please, would love that. Great. I will drop the link to my group for you in a minute. Totally right, Bride. What if you just press go live and let it flow? Oh, this is what I was going to say about that going live thing, Annalise, as well, is that when I said like go break state, go outside, go out in nature, and then just like go for it and hit live, don't be tied into like, oh, I have to be in a studio and I have to have my makeup done properly and I have to do, you know, like any of that shit. Go out. And the reason I say like go out in nature is because it's like being inside sometimes just feels so confining to our soul, and we need to be out in nature. And as soon as we do that, and it's almost like just, this is something that I do sometimes, and this is like a kind of a piece around money as well. So for example, if I was contracted around making money through a certain program or something, then I'd be looking at it and like contracting my energy around it, and therefore contracting the container and not allowing people in, yeah? So when I allow myself to almost just say, do you know what? It's fine. If I don't sell anything, I'm fine. When I do that and I like look in a different direction and I release the pressure and I just show up because I want to show up and because it's fun for me, fucking people start signing up like boom, 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 you know? So as soon as you take the pressure off of something, you allow space for creativity. Creativity doesn't want to come into a contracted, stagnant fucking container. Creativity in the spiral, for example, the first place where we activate creativity is in the sacral chakra, and the sacral is connected to the element of water. Now, water, thinking about it, divine flow. Water flows, it moves. When it goes stagnant, that's when it causes problems. So if you're feeling stagnant at all, Annalise, then go and just move your body and release the need to do a live stream today. And take the pressure off. Like, for me, doing a live stream is just something that's really fucking fun, and it's part of my self-development and pushing my edge. Like, who will I be today? So when you take the pressure off and just allow yourself to expand into who you're going to be today, you'll find that because you've expanded, you've created more flow, you've allowed the water and the creativity to move, and then suddenly inspiration can land. If you're tight and contracted, you won't feel inspired, and you will come across as tight and contracted, which I don't think you are as a human. Like, just picking up energetically, I don't think you are that way. So just allow yourself to be in the divine flow of your life. Let yourself loosen up. Let yourself feel into the element of water. Maybe even go and be near water if you live near water. And allow that to just soothe you to the point where you start to activate your sacral chakra and you're actually able to then be inspired. Yesterday, or the day before, 2 days ago I think, I did a live stream. And the beautiful Emma, one of my lovely clients, jumped on, and she was just like, by the end, she actually commented on like how different I looked at the end of the live stream, because I love communicating and expressing and sharing and like activating the fuck out of you guys to go and live your best life. So to me, even if I don't feel great at the beginning, it's like going to the gym, right? You know, if you've ever been in a situation, this doesn't really happen to me anymore, which is a whole other story, but I used to like feel like about going to the gym, but I always felt better afterwards. Now I just feel fucking excited because I love what I train. But sometimes when I go live, it's like I get this nudge to go live, and there is a part of me that's like, okay, well, let's just see what comes out and hope for the best. I don't know. It's not fucking scripted, as you can probably tell. I did not prepare this. I just came on and allowed the message to be the message. But what I love is that at the end, I feel different. I feel better. I feel activated when I go on a live stream. And also, Annalise, if you don't want to do a live stream, if that doesn't feel like the best way to communicate with your audience and connect with your audience, then don't fucking do a live stream. You know, the internet gods did not exist at the dawn of time. Hey, Sophie, nice to have you on live. See, I started talking about water and I summoned you. Here you are, my water constitution sister. So when we allow ourselves to just go, actually, I don't have to do what everyone else is saying. Just because everyone else is doing live streams doesn't mean that I have to. If I want to write, I can write. If I just want to share beautiful images and memes and quotes, sure, I can do that. You know, just because I personally, Georgina, don't work with people who I can't see their face or I like to feel their energy in a live stream, it doesn't necessarily mean that your people are going to be the same. But my top tip, which I always give when I'm talking about any kind of sales, which you probably heard me say a bajillion times, but it bears repeating because it always helps somebody when I drop this little nugget of wisdom, is when you're thinking about how you sell and how you show up in your business, just ask yourself, like, how do I buy? What's my process for deciding I want to buy from somebody? Sometimes people are in my containers for fucking years. Sometimes they've been in my Facebook group watching my free stuff for years, never commented on anything, and then they ping up in my inbox and they want to work with me, you know? So we can't ever know what impact we're having. All we can do is just decide to continue showing up anyway and being like whoever we are that day and trusting that that person is who our people need. So that said, go do the things, be the person, enjoy your motherfucking life. And if you feel called at all to be in my permission field for 30 fucking days whilst you up-level your shit around money, and get access to my magical clearing sessions, which we're going to be doing via live stream. There are 2 of those. I mean, even one of those alone is worth the fucking investment. I can't put into words how potent those clearing sessions are. You know, it is incredibly deep work that we do in those sessions. So if you even had an inkling that you'd like to join us in the Money Mindset Reset, fucking do it. I have no shame and like no doubt in my mind that if you sign up for this, it will be a fucking great decision. And that's why you can see how I'm sitting now. I'm so excited. My legs are like straight out in front of my feet like this. I'm like, because I'm just so excited about this program. Like I got my little fluffy zippers on and they're just like, yeah, just do it. Just hit the button. Come and join us. We start official on Saturday, but the group gets activated on the Friday with the pre-work. As soon as you sign up, you get access to 3 videos, which are all about, I think there's some tapping in there. I think there's just some general reframes around debt is one of the videos. I talk specifically about like how to change your perception around debt and the processes that I went through. But yeah, it's going to be fucking amazing. I'm so excited. And what I love is that so many of the alumni, people who've done it time and time again, come back every time. And whenever I like drop the thing into the previous groups and go, hey guys, we're running it again. If you want to sign up, then just click this link and you get in for free, right? Because you get every single iteration of it in the future for free. Once you've bought it once, you get it for life and you get all the upgrades. Even if this program becomes like a 5-figure program one day and you got in when I first sold it or you get in now at like £222, you still continue to get the fucking upgrades. Like that is how committed I am to getting this work out into the world, because it is potent and this is a beautiful program and it's just it's so beautifully designed. It's total flow. It just flowed out of me. It's absolutely incredible. £222 for lifetime access and all the upgrades. It means that you could literally have clearing sessions with me in that container for the next few years. As long as I'm running this program, you will get access to any of the future clearing sessions. Like in my mind, it's a fucking no-brainer. So get your ass in there. I'm so excited. Let's do the thing. I love you.